is going on, y'all? It is the Caveman back at it again with another video. Getting these record predictions finished today. I'm doing the AFC South. To try and keep these short and condensed, remember, try and ignore the team schedule that I throw up on screen and the wins and losses individually. It's all about the record prediction. I just use a schedule as a template. All right, so kicking it off at the bottom of the barrel of the AFC South, I have the Houston Texans finishing 4-13. Now, although my record prediction might not reflect what I'm about to say, I really like what the Texans have going on in Houston. Lots of young pieces that I think they're going to be able to build around. Davis Mills is getting recognized as one of the better young talents in the NFL and actually a suitable starter. We'll see if that continues this year. Dameon Pierce, the rookie running back that's getting a ton of hype. They actually drafted Derek Stingley with the 3rd overall pick this season. They also got Steven Nelson back there from some veteran leadership. Jalen Petrie, the young safety. Can't forget about Brandon Cooks. I think Nico Collins is an up-and-coming star in this league. I really like Brevin Jordan, their young tight end as well. There's a lot to like. I just don't think this season is going to be a year where they make much of an impact in an extremely tough AFC. Like I said, although my record prediction might not reflect it, this is a step in the right direction for the Houston Texans, despite having them go 4-13. Now for my 3rd place prediction in the AFC South, I have the Jacksonville Jaguars, who I am predicting go 5-12. Just like Houston, they're taking steps in the right direction, but I just think that's not going to be reflected in the record because of how difficult the AFC is going to be. But the transition from the disaster that was Urban Meyer to Super Bowl winning head coach Doug Peterson is probably the biggest upgrade we saw any franchise make this entire offseason. It's going to be extremely important for their franchise second-year quarterback Trevor Lawrence, who I expect to take big strides this season. Other bright spots on this offense include one of the better running back duos in the NFL, assuming that Travis Etienne, the rookie running back from last season that didn't get to play a snap, actually lives up to the hype he's getting. Pairing him alongside the undrafted superstar and James Robinson, they really could be a very solid 1-2 punch. Improved offensive line should help Trevor as well. They brought in Brandon Sheriff, one of the better guards in the NFL from the Washington Commanders. They also overspent on a few receivers, but nevertheless, it's a better group. The defense is where the stars are going to shine for the Jags. You got Trayvon Walker, their 1st overall selection, across the field from Josh Allen, one of the best young pass rushers in the NFL already, combined with a young linebacking group in Chad Muma as well as Devin Lloyd, which is led by Foyesade Oluokun. They have a very young but very solid core on the defensive side of the ball. I'm actually excited to see how they develop over the next few years. Like I said, I don't expect the Jacksonville Jaguars to make too much noise externally, but internally is where I think the true development is going to take place, and we're going to see this team actually become competitive again in the next coming years. I have them going 5-12. For my 2nd place prediction, I have the Tennessee Titans, who I think are going to finish a below average 8-9. I think the Titans have missed their window of opportunity, at least with the core they currently have. They have an offensive line which is a shell of its former self. Derrick Henry, who is still going to be very good, but he's 28 years old, coming off an injury that kept him out a majority of last year. A wide receiving group which is much more well-rounded, but they still lost A.J. Brown to a trade in the 2022 NFL Draft. I like Treylon Burks. I think he's going to be good, but Robert Woods, who's coming off of an ACL injury at the age of 30 years old, and Kyle Phillips as well, the young slot receiver, I think is going to be solid. It just doesn't feel like it's going to be enough to make up for A.J. friggin' Brown. Without A.J. Brown, who I think made Ryan Tannehill a substantially better quarterback when he was on the field, I think this offense struggles severely. Would not be surprised if at one point or another we see Malik Willis, and who knows, maybe he makes a start later on in the year, depending how things are going. They're going to need the defensive side of the ball to play out of their mind, and with the roster they have, it's actually more than possible. I really like the Tennessee Titans defense. They have a monstrous pass rush, which unfortunately just lost Harold Landry to an ACL injury, which is a tremendous hit. They still have Danico Autry, Jeffrey Simmons, David Long Jr., as well as Bud Dupree, who are very, very good at getting after the quarterback. And they have their secondary, which is one of the most underrated units in the entire league. They got all-pro safety Kevin Byard across the field from Monty Hooker. After rookie cornerback Roger McCreary, as well as Caleb Farley, the young star corner who could not avoid injury last season. If he's able to this year, I think he could be a very solid corner in this league. They have the defense to get the job done, and it's really going to fall on the shoulders of Ryan Tannehill. I'm not sure if Derrick Henry can carry the type of workload he has in the past, so it's going to be all up to Ryan Tannehill to just be an above-average quarterback more often than he's had to in the past. And if he's able to do that, I could see this team having a better record than 8-9, but I am just not going to put my money on that happening. I have the Titans finishing 8-9. For the final piece of the puzzle, we have the Indianapolis Colts finishing 1st in the division at 11-6. Colts made a few acquisitions this season that are going to make a night and day difference between last year to this year, specifically the quarterback position, in which they went from Carson Bum-ass Wentz to Matt Ryan. I can't emphasize how large that is for this football team. I can't begin to explain how much of an upgrade Matt Ryan is over Carson Wentz, and the fact that they got him for what, like a 4th round pick from the Falcons is ridiculous. ridiculous. Matt Ryan operating behind the Colts offensive line with a run game that's led by Jonathan Taylor and Nyheim Hines. Yeah, I think we're going to see a different Matt Ryan than what we saw last year playing behind that skeleton of an offensive line with the Atlanta Falcons. The defense also made some significant upgrades as well. They brought in veteran corner Stephon Gilmore to improve that talent back there, which I think was desperately needed. They also got Kenny Moore, one of the best slot corners in the league. Also traded for Yannick Ngakoue to pair alongside their second-year pass rusher Kwity Paye. If Kwity Paye could stay healthy, I really liked him coming out of Michigan last season, so I hope he's able to get on track. But it's the cornerstone pieces that make this defense and really make this team what it is. Shaquille Leonard, DeForest Buckner, these two guys are forces to be reckoned with. Expect them to be forcing just as many turnovers as they did last year. This is one of the most well-rounded rosters in the NFL. We saw what the Colts did to Buffalo last year, and we can consider that a fluke or an off week for the Bills all we want. That was the Colts just asserting their dominance in physical play on a team that could not handle it, so I do not want to run into Indianapolis again, so stay away from us. Well, that will wrap up my AFC South predictions. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. I have the Indianapolis Colts taking it home. I thought they should have had it last year. As always, if you enjoyed, please like, subscribe, do all the fun stuff. If you want to hit the bell to be notified when I upload, I'd appreciate that. You want to go over to Twitter, follow me over there, I'd appreciate that as well. I have a TikTok down in my description that I think you should check out, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.